Evening everyone, another transfer video today. Just a quick one. We have an outgoing player, Jonjo Shelvey, is a couple of hours ago reported to be having a medical with Nottingham Forest. We needed to strengthen the midfield as opposed to lose a midfield player. However, he's been injured, he hasn't been playing recently, so for the immediate right here and now, we haven't lost anything. I can understand why he's gone. He's only played, I think, 3 times this season. Obviously, he's been injured. You know, you look at the style of play that we're adopting at the minute. Although he's a fabulous player with great technique, I don't think he's going to be near the starting lineup anytime soon. I think he had to start 3 more games in his current contract to then trigger an extension because his contract expires in the summer. Again, Eddie cannot guarantee him that. So, with that in mind, Jonjo's trying to look after himself and his family and try and get settled so he's not in limbo come the summer, and then he's sort of advertised himself as a free agent. You know, he's moving from Newcastle down to Nottingham, which is not a million miles away, to be honest. So yeah, I'm sad to see him go because on his day, he's a fantastically talented player. The technique, his range of passing is, we don't have another player like him in terms of range of passing and his passing ability. Obviously, Bruno is a fantastic passer of the ball. Even Sean Longstaff at times in the midfield. Fabian Schär is a fantastic passer of the ball, but just Jonjo's his technique is incredible. Those diagonals he could pick out, he just brings something different that none of our other midfield players have got. So, Eddie said already that he doesn't want to lose him at this stage, but the player's looking after it himself and his family. He's going to be out of contract in the summer. We cannot guarantee him another contract or the opportunity to earn that other contract. So it's fair enough. Like I said, sad to see him go. I've been a critic of his in the past. I think he at times come across as lazy, didn't put the effort in, but he was one of the players of the season last season who sort of was charging around the pitch, made that free kick against Leeds, although it was deflected goal, was one of the big turnaround points. He will have a tiny piece of he put my tongue back in my mouth. He is one of the pieces of the turnaround of the success of Newcastle United's story. Looking back, he was terrific. We signed him in January 2016. In that season, we also got relegated. He was terrific in the Championship. The season we came back up, 17-18, I remember for a spell, he and Mohamed Diame, sorry, not Moussa Diaby, Mohamed Diame, the two of them in midfield were fantastic. I can remember when we played Manchester United, it was Dubravka's debut. Matt Ritchie scored, we won 1-0 at St James's Park. Those two dealt with Paul Pogba and Matic and the like. They were fantastic together. Shelvey, I think overall, his time at Newcastle, his time on Tyneside at SJP was positive, and I've got nothing but good wishes for him for the future. Wishing nothing but the best. All the best, Jonjo. He's still only 30. He's got 3 or 4 good, solid years in the Premier League, and I hope things go his way. I really, really do. So yeah, sad to see him go. I would have just from a tactical point of view, I'd have liked someone in first before we let him go. However, we're sitting at Monday evening now. Things seem to speed up before the end of the transfer window, so there might already be 2 or 3 names in the mix. Who knows? James Maddison might be on his way to Newcastle as we speak. Who knows? But before I mention another name, I will say, Jonjo, again, good luck. Thank you. Some terrific goals, some terrific passes, some terrific moments, and yeah, you are appreciated at this club, and good luck for the future. Right, Sander Berg, I think that's how you say his name. Don't know an awful lot about the guy. I know he's a Sheffield United midfield player. I know that they signed him 3 years ago for 22 million quid. I know that Newcastle are apparently being linked with trying to offer about 15 million quid. I know Liverpool have been sniffing around. I know Chelsea have been sniffing around. I know apparently AC Milan have been sniffing around. Now, if those three clubs are all sniffing, Chelsea you can sort of ignore because I think they just follow. That they'll go for anyone who the bigger teams are looking at. But I think if Liverpool and AC Milan are interested, you know, two big dogs in Europe, I think he's a player to be taken seriously. I'll have to get on the research because I don't know that much about him. I know he's early 20s. I think he's 23, 24. Sheffield United player, midfielder, Norwegian. So yeah, he could be a replacement. Just get another midfielder in through the door. Like I said on yesterday's video, we're a bit thin on the ground in the midfield area. And you're looking at Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, Elliot Anderson, who's a bit of a utility player at the minute in the midfield and forward areas, and Joe Willock. Obviously, if the wingers are struggling for fitness or form, Joe Linton then gets punted out wide, which leaves us with three proven Premier League midfield players with no backups, proven backups. So Sanderberg, or we need another midfielder coming in. That was evident yesterday, but it is now the priority position, I would say, now that Jonjo Shelvey is leaving the club. Definitely, because he was on his way back to fitness. We could do with a creative style midfield player. I'm not saying it has to be a goal scoring number 10 in the mould of going back years, someone like Kaka or a Steven Gerrard or someone like, not that quality obviously in January, but in style. But we need someone who's got that little bit of craft in their game, that little bit of guile and creativity and incisiveness in their passing, which Jonjo, when he was performing and playing well, did have and does have in abundance. So yeah, beyond transfer news later on Sky Sports, and hopefully Carvey and the other guy, Darmesh, is it? The two can come up with some big news. Obviously, BBC Sport, just Twitter, started following Fabrizio Romano. He seems to be the man in the know with European transfers. And we will see what happens between now and 11 o'clock tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow is game day. Buzzing for that. Really looking forward to it. But yeah, round up, Sanderberg, is he coming in? Who is he? I don't know an awful lot about him, but the main news is Jonjo Shelvey, thank you, but he's on his way out the door to Nottingham Forest, looking after his career, so fair enough. But yeah, what a player Nottingham Forest are getting on their hands, by the way. Also with Chris Wood, who I will do probably do a video on all the ingoing and outgoing transfers probably on Wednesday. So I think I didn't do a video on Chris Wood just exclusively, and I think he deserves one because I've been quite a big vocal in my praise of him. So yeah, I think I ought to back that up. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you later. Cheerio.